How to create an online summit. I love summits. Summits are one of the core things that we do for my business. We've made a lot of money with them. I have a lot of clients that have done them. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to do summits, but also one of the major reasons why those who've tried them in the past probably failed. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I have run a lot of summits. I like summits. This is our own summit. We've done summits a lot. In fact, a virtual summit is one of the things I recommend the most to people who don't have a list yet. So if you're watching this video and you're like, I really don't have a following yet, or I'm kind of starting out, or I don't understand what to do, it is one of the most frequent things I recommend for someone to go do to make a lot of money and launch their product. But it's also the opposite is true. I have a big 9-figure client right now, and guess what we're doing with him? A virtual summit. I'm very familiar with the strategy. I love this strategy. I'm going to give you some key points to keep in mind while you go try and build one. They are a little bit of footwork, but they are a lot of fun and one of the coolest things to automate. Now let's dive in. Guys, before I go on to this last little bit, I know this has been fairy cherry and delicious. Go hit the subscribe and the like button and the little bell. Please let us know what you're liking about this. And I also would like to know how many of you in the comments have pulled off a summit on your own. They're not necessarily easy. They're very worth it though. And once you get them out the door, they make a lot of cash. So I'd love to know down below who's been launching summits. Hey guys, I want to take a moment to walk through the funnel strategy when you actually run a summit. Now there's a lot of ways to do this. This is just one of the ways I like to do it. It's a way that I watched Russell Brunson do it, and there's other people who do different strategies. So this is not the way. This is just how I've done it. So here is how I like to do it though, okay? I have a registration page, which is right here, right? That registration page, its whole job obviously is to tell somebody day 1 of the summit, here's what's gonna happen, right? Day 2 of the summit, here's what's gonna happen, and day 3. When somebody registers, we go in and we put them on an email sequence that guides them through the remainder of the actual thing. So we'll put an email sequence out that says, hey, here's your day 1 ticket. All right. So over here on the side, this is where the actual summit takes place. This is a big strategy, you know, and just so you know, on YouTube, I'm not going to be able to get in all the nitty gritties with this, but just take this, understand this is a lot of what us are doing. All right. So day 1, here's the actual summit speeches, day 2, day 3, and day 4. Now the purpose of the summit for us is to get to day number 4. Day number 4 is where I get to pitch the actual thing that I wanted to get them on the summit for all along. So I push them as much as I can to get to day 4 because it is my speech usually, and it's usually the sales pitch of the entire thing. All right, let's back up though. What happens after they register? When they register, they come over here to the thank you pages, and there's a series of them. Okay, we have a thank you page that says, hey, we're excited to have you. It's gonna be awesome. By the way, you want the replays? Before you even watch any of it, do you just know you're gonna wanna buy the replays? Cool. And we have a button that takes down so they can go buy the replays. Next day, we're like, hey, let's send them to another thank you page. Did you know you can go buy the replays? Boom. Next day, hey, replays. We push to the replays like crazy. It's one of the reasons that summits make so much money. The other place that we push to the replays is on the actual summit itself. All right, so check this out. When someone's watching a speech, let's say they're watching a speech and they're like, man, this is some good stuff. I only give them 24-hour access per actual day. So what we do right next to it is we say, you want the replays? And every single one of these buttons on the side, all of them push back down to the replays. Again, another reason why summits work so well. You are constantly reminding them softly, you know, don't do anything crazy or high pressure, right? But you're constantly reminding them throughout to go to the replays. All right, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll sell replays for 97 bucks. These are just theoretical prices, sometimes my actual ones. We'll say, you want this actual replays of the summit? Sweet. All right, so let's walk through what happens at that point. If somebody says, yes, I want to actually get the replays of this summit, then what we do on this next page is we give them a little upsell. Like, do you want to add this on also? It goes really well with these replays. All right, do you want this next one as well? It goes really well with these replays. And on the thank you page, we also pitch them something else very, very softly, okay? Again, if you're hearing me and you're like, man, he's pitching a lot, the way that you do it matters. So I'm not constantly like, hey, you gotta try, like, you know, don't be annoying with this stuff. But what I'm doing though is I'm just constantly saying, do you want something else? Just sweet. If not, sweet, then don't buy, don't click, right? And that's kind of what I'm doing. What ends up happening is by the end, right, they've gone through and they've watched day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. There's the opportunity to purchase the replays. All right, there's opportunity to buy the next thing in my product line. What ends up happening is we have increased what is called max cart value, or the amount somebody could purchase if they bought everything. All right, that's huge because that means that my average cart value can go up and I can spend more to acquire a customer. Okay, let me answer the question that most people have It's Steve, that's cool. I might be a little stressed checking it out, and that's fine. Let me know down below if you are so we can help clarify. All right, so if you have any follow-up questions. All right, but how do I get people on the summit? How do I get people? How many people do you usually get? I usually get 30 to 50 speakers, guest speakers on the summit. How do you get them? How do you get them to say yes? Just so you know, I almost never pay someone to come on my summit. I've never had anyone so far get paid to speak on my summit. They get paid in awareness. They get paid in exposure. That's good enough. What I do is I think about my marketplace and I'm like, cool, if this is the marketplace, this is the place that I want to be selling into. What I do is I'm like, who are the big people, the influencers inside that market who would be really, really fascinating to hear from? All I go do is I reach out to them and I say, hey, I would love it if you were over here on this summit. And those are the people that I reach out to. They have to be big and they got to be influencers. They got to be influencers and they got to be publishers. They need to have a list. Half the reason I'm getting them on the summit is so that they'll promote it and my list grows really big. This is one of the reasons why people are brand new. I usually suggest to them to do a summit. We call it list hacking. It's where you grow a list very, very, very quickly. I think of like a little bucket, right? A little bucket with a list. You get people, all these influencers saying, hey, I'm on this sweet summit. Who do they tell? They're following. What does their following do? They go to your page. They go to your page and whose list do they opt into? Yours. This is how I grow a list so fast, by the way. I've had a lot of clients do this who are brand new. They have no following. And they'll get 10, so they'll get 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 people on their list just doing that one time. Okay, it's huge. It's awesome. It's one of the biggest hacks of the game. All right, this is one of the biggest mistakes people make with summits, and I believe it is why most summits fail. You name them wrong or boring. You name them so boring. All right, I call myself the Offer King. You know how bad it would be if I had my summit called Offer Summit? It'd be terrible. Don't call yourself Offer whatever. You have to come up with a sweet name. So what I want to do real fast is just very briefly, and this is usually some deep stuff I teach in my events and my courses, but this is how I come up with names for summits. All right, you notice that my summit I showed you at the beginning of this, I didn't call it Offer Summit, I called it Your Final Offer. And the prompt is, what would you do if the doctor said that you only had 90 more days to work, and if you work in 91st, you're gonna die. So you have 90 days to make a final offer that will fund the rest of your life. That's an interesting summit. But most people say like, I'm gonna make Offer Summit, and that's why they suck. Okay, this is how I come up with actual titles though for things. This is a client I've had in the past. This is the Satgasts. They're an amazing couple. They are targeting people who are in their 50s. So this is literally my notes from doing a workshop with them. Okay, personally, they're just one-on-one with them. And what they do is they have a family history product, and they help people who have had a big life experience, scary thing that might have taken their life. They want people to be able to document the stories inside of their life quickly in case something catastrophic is going on inside their life. Kind of intense, but a really cool service. And so what they do is they help couples and they help people pull stories from their life in 7 days so that they can document them and have them be written down for family history. Very powerful, very amazing. So this is what we did, right? There are things called Family History Hero, and I was making a summit for them. All right, they have all these cool boxes that you unlock. We started going through different frameworks and stuff with them. And then what we're trying to do is we're trying to come up with a title. So they're going after female baby boomers, right? They're going after family historians. They're going after genealogy sites. They're going after those with people who have grandchildren. And so I ask, what is the scenario that you're selling them into? Something scary has happened, right? Something not awesome has happened, and they may not be able to live that much longer, and they haven't documented much of their life. So this is how we came up with it. Listen to this. I'm gonna riff, but this is essentially what it was. Something scary has happened in your life. You're not quite sure if you'll live much longer, but you're grateful for the time you've had. What would you do in the next 7 days to preserve your stories and pass down through genealogy your life, right? What would you do in the next 7 days? And what we called it was 7daylegacy.com. That's a killer summit title. That's way better than Genealogy Summit. Blech. Half of you guys name it wrong. You're not marketers, you're content creators, and that's why your summits suck, okay? So what you need to do is think about a way to name the summit that's interesting so people actually want to watch it. What would you do in 7 days to preserve your legacy? That's a killer summit title. That's awesome. Hey guys, so summits work really, really well, and I just wanted you to see how well they do work. All right, you can get a lot of people. So this is stats on my actual summit, okay? Your Final Offer. My personal summit, we've had 19,000 unique people come to this page. And I just chose random times. I don't know all the numbers and stats on it. I just rolled back the clock, all right? 8,000 unique people have opted in. That's a 40% registration rate, which is pretty high. And of that, we've had 400 people take us up on our main thing. We've sold several of the bonuses, and we've had 93 people take us up on our next upsell. Now, we drive traffic to that so that we have money to drive traffic to other things. This is a self-liquidating offer for us. I just want you to see that I'm walking the talk on this, and this is our personal summit and how we do it. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I have a free gift for you here. It is literally what I've been talking about. It is free. Go to yourfinaloffer.com, and this is what you're gonna see. This is the actual page right here, okay? Right here, there's gonna be a button that says click here to register. The whole summit is free. But what you're gonna get a chance to see is how these other internet marketers would or have created their final offer that will fund the rest of their lives. Free gift. Link is in the description in case you don't wanna type it.